I am your host, Boluwatife Adedogun, and this is the first edition of Issues That Matter on City Mirror TV, where we'll be discussing about issues that matter to you and I in our society, trending issues in Osun State, in Nigeria, and in the world at large. Today, I have a guest with me who will be discussing the issues trending in Nigeria with us. Mr. Emmanuel Olowo is the Director of Social, Economic and Civic Rights Advocacy, SECRA. Mr. Emmanuel, please help me introduce yourself properly to the audience.
Good morning. My name is Comrade Olowo Emmanuel. I'm the Executive Director of Social, Economic and Civic Rights Advocacy based in Osun State.
All right, thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. On Saturday, that's March 28th, a rainstorm destroyed a lot of properties in Osogbo. In fact, someone was even killed. It killed someone. What do you think the government can do to stop this from occurring?
You see, to me as a person, what happens on the 28th is a pile-up of our neglect since the past 20 years. When you take a sample of every of the property that got destroyed, it is either these are properties that has been in existence for over 50 years, that their roofing are not good, or you are going to see it to be a very new building. Now, what now led to it is that, number one, the buildings that their roof got scattered, these are roofings that had need repairs for years, that though the owners of those buildings knows that this roofing, these roofs had been leaking over time. My own observation though.
Okay.
Number one is that. Number two, when you look at the names, like a building in Alekwodo, when you look at that building, you are going along that Kolawole area, you are going to discover that the building is a new building, and the storm took away the roof. When you look at it critically, you are going to discover that it's a problem that we have been harboring for the past 20 years. When you go to the sawmill to buy planks, the size of our 2x2 is no longer the size of 2x2. The planks, the size have reduced. Our 2x2 is no longer the size of 2x2 of the past 20 years. Our 3x3 plank is not of that same size. And when our carpenters are roofing our houses, we still take the dimension that we ought to take in the last 20-30 years. So the planks are not heavy enough to withstand it. Now, where regulations have to now come in, that we have to hold the government accountable. When we were in secondary school, we were taught afforestation, deforestation. These are secondary school agricultural teachings. They told us then that we have to plant trees. Where are the trees we are planting now? They told us before a tree can be cut, there are regulations and there are agencies. Let us ask ourselves, is the government really regulating the tree cutting, plank formations in the state? These are questions that we have to ask ourselves. And let us now go back to the iron rod. The iron rod of the past, our 12 mm. Is this the normal 12 mm now? That is where the standard organization of Nigeria have to come in now to check it. Every of those companies producing iron rod, are they producing the iron rod? Is a 10 mm actual size mm? Is our 12 mm the actual stand size of 12 mm? So when our agencies are failing, there is automatically there will always be a problem, like we have seen on Saturday.
All right, thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. Now, you said it's not just about the rainstorm, but about the quality of the materials used in building the houses. All right, thank you for that. Let's move to Jos. Okay, according to news, at least 7 youth have been killed at a tin mining site in Gako area of Kuru community, Barikin Ladin, Jos South local government area of Plateau State. And in response to the attack, theft of 102 livestock belonging to pastoralists. Okay, with the issue of insecurity in Nigeria now, a lot of people have been killed, and also the youth. Do you think with the killings of youth, do you think youth are still the leaders of tomorrow?
You see, the issue of insecurity in Nigeria has not just started now. These have been in existence since we started our democracy. Obasanjo had his own share of it. After Obasanjo, those that came also have their shares. But gradually, it is now coming to the southwestern part of Nigeria. It's an indication that the problem is not being solved at the moment, but we are having a more complicated problem. So, the killing of Nigerians, does that indicate that we are the future of tomorrow? We should not deceive ourselves. Let us even put aside the issue of killing. Every Nigerian youth, it is an act of deceit for everybody to tell us that we are the futures of tomorrow. Because those who are leading us, even since the First Republic started, they are not willing to leave office. They are not willing to leave office. So they are not even creating a space for any youth to come over and take up power. So it tells us that in Nigeria as we speak, let us even forget about insecurity. In Nigeria as a country today, the youth, the leaders is not giving a space for the youth to lead. So the fact that they are propelling us or we are thinking that we are the future of tomorrow is an act of deceit that we have to put aside, and we wake up to the duties and tasks that is ahead of us as people to take up responsibility if we really want to lead this country.
What is now the immediate action the government should take for this insecurity?
You see, the issue of insecurity in Nigeria, to me, I begin to see it as a system of I chop, you chop. So it's now become a chop thing, because when you talk about security, these are areas at which the government and those in leadership can siphon and make more money. When you look at the additional budget that the president is trying to take, the additional loan by adding up to the budget of adding about 9.9 trillion into the present 2026 budget, when you look at what they want to use that money for, security is also part of it. So it is a way of siphoning money. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that those leading this country are not ready to solve the problem of insecurity, and there is a truth that every one of them are not willing to tell the Nigerian people, and that is why the Nigerian people who have not yet fallen.
And what is that truth?
The truth is within them. They know it, because they cannot claim to tell us that they do not know who are sponsoring them, who are their financiers. They do not tell us. They will not come and tell us they do not know. They know every of their financiers. They know them, but the government is not just willing to act. And that is why I've always been telling people that every set of people leading this country as we speak, they are best of friends, and there is no friends that wants to fight against his friends. That is why the Nigerian people, as we speak today, have to see every elite, have to see everybody leading this country as their enemy, and let the poor people, the mass of the people, form their own group, become a group of friends, and those leading this country, let them become a group of friends. And on election day, let us learn the ability to take a decision on election day.
All right. Okay. On the issue of electricity, even before the rainstorm that happened in Osun State, we have been having epileptic power supply for the past few weeks now. So, and with the rainstorm that affected properties in Osun last Saturday, do you think that should even stop us from having electricity at all in the state?
You see, with the present status of IBDC, the GENCOs, the TCN, and whatever else in Nigeria, I think maybe we are still going to be under total blackout, or areas that are affected. I think we will still be under total blackout for the next 2 weeks. My own assumption, looking at the way it is being run over time, this problem too does not just come. You see, a serious government that loves its people shouldn't have sold a larger part of electricity in Nigeria. Every government comes, they have privatized everything. Somebody was even telling me jokingly that a part of Kanji Dam has also been sold, but I have not yet confirmed that. But however, before we have the storm on the 28th, there have been blackouts in Osun State. There are people from a particular 29 communities in Okebale, they went for a protest. And to even show the tenacity of IBDC had to still report this set of community to the DSS, that they had a protest, that the protest they had is violence. Now let us now come back to IBDC. When they sold electricity to these private investors, part of the promises they gave to the Nigerian people and to the government is that they are going to give prepaid meters to everybody, that they are going to make sure that every of their grid, the 33 kV, the 11 kVA, that every of it are working properly. But it's quite unfortunate that they did not give prepaid meter to the people. They kept on people estimated billing. They kept on making more money on daily basis, and they failed to repair every of their 33 kVA, 11 kVA at which electricity is being supplied to the Nigerian. Let us now come to look at one area. They now came with the idea of band A, band B, band C, band D. When you are in band A, you are going to use 20 hours light. When you are in band B, you use 12 hours electricity. Now, when I studied it, it was discovered that why they shaded it is basically because they need a lot of facilities, a lot of equipment to boost. If you want to use electricity for 20 hours, every of the feeder poles, the KV, the 33 kV, the 11 kVA cables have to be of good standard. The transformers have to be able to work for that 20 hours. The question now is, are every of these transformers working? The 33 kVA, the 11 kVA, are they working? Is IBEDC himself reinvesting his profit into that business? So when you study it critically, you discover that they are not reinvesting. And when you are not reinvesting to repair, automatically what is going to happen? There will be failure in what you are going to give to the people. So electricity issue is not a problem of the storm that happens. What happens there is just a show, an expression that there is problem in the sector if every of those poles had collapsed. And I discovered that why did every of those concrete poles collapse? When the we still have to be using plank poles again in this country as at this time. So this is an indication that IBDC has failed to reinvest. Let us shock ourselves. When your transformer goes spoiled in your community, IBDC will not attend to it. IBDC will tell you the community should go and buy. When the community buy, after the IBDC, the community purchase, there is now a form they will ask them to fill that this property hereby belongs to the property of IBDC and not that of the community. And as a matter of fact, the community will not even be giving the money they use in purchasing that transformer. So what are we trying to say in essence? IBDC has failed the Nigerian people. And we cannot say IBDC has failed. It is the government that we have to hold responsible for the failure of IBDC.
All right, listeners in the house, thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. You've talked about electricity, you've talked about insecurity. Thank you so much for your time and energy. Till we meet again next week on this edition of Issues That Matter on City Mirror TV. I still remain your host, Boluwatife Adedokun.